What up, what up? Welcome back to 5 Minutes of Finance with your guy, Evan, a.k.a. The Money Man. Hey, I first wanted to say we're halfway, right? Maybe a little bit over halfway by the time you're watching it. Halfway through 2026, halfway through the year, and I need all of your finance people. I need you as a leader to inspect what you expect. They should be filling these out, and if they're not, they should be doing it today moving forward, right? We have to start looking at the metrics. We've got to start making sure that we're doing the small little things over and over again. One of them is filling out this finance planner. So if you are an owner, a general manager, or a finance director, a leader, make sure that everyone's doing the finance planner. I promise it makes a big difference. Attitude is a decision, right? It comes down to you, no one else. Attitude is a decision. That's why I have it number one on the 13 steps to the close, because attitude in the box is more important than I'd say any other department in the dealership, right? Attitude, going into a $10, $15, $20,000 intangible piece of paper close on nobody wants to talk about these products close, it's tough, right? And attitude moving into that deal has a big impact in that. You manage millions in the box, but do you know your own math, right? Attitude dictates altitude in every environment. Our dealership grind, the hours that we're in the office, in the box working, plus our outside work-life mentality equals our total net worth, right? Net worth. What does that look like? What do I mean by that? What are you doing when you leave the office? What are you doing when you get home, on your way home? Sam and I have a podcast called The Evening Drive. There's a positive note for you. If you're not doing anything positive when you're leaving the office, turn on The Evening Drive with me and Sam. We might pick up a pointer or two or a couple golden nuggets. At least get your attitude right moving into your home, right? Going into your home, if you've got a family, if you've got kids, if you've got a spouse, you got to keep that clear, right? A lot of the times we leave that part out when it comes to working in a dealership, right? The outside work life massively impacts how we perform in the dealership. Just look at this, right? Your gross income, obviously we have taxes and other liabilities, your commute unpaid, your dealership spillover, then we've got the recovery tax, decompiling some stress, and then your true hourly rate. What is your hourly rate? Once we look at all of these things, what is your hourly rate come out to be? And I guarantee you it's a lot less than it could be. One of the focal points would be, what are you doing with your time outside of work? How are you being productive? How are you being a great parent? How are you being a great leader? How are you contributing to your community? It all starts within the morning, right? It also, at least for me, some people it might, your biggest window of opportunity might be at night. But I want you to really dive into what are we doing outside of work that could massively impact how our performance is. Protect your outside hours and your attitude exactly like you protect a deal in the box. It's all your capital. I can't tell you how many times that I go into a situation or go to help a couple of these dealers or finance managers, and some of the big pieces of the puzzle, it's not how to sell a VSE, how to contract a deal, how to have clean CIT. It's more, how can I balance, how can I maximize the hours that I'm at work, and how can I have a great work-life balance, right? Sometimes it's as simple as just figuring this equation out. Relentless focus at work, right? When you're at work, you're working. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds like, why would you even mention that? But go into your finance office sporadically, and I guarantee you'll see this scrolling through Facebook. I guarantee you they'll be on this nice little finance island. I guarantee you they're not leading your sales meetings. They're not doing the little things that are really the big things. I know that you've probably got people in the seats that can close deals and that can run a decent VSE percentage and maybe even a good PVR, but what are they doing outside of that? Relentless focus at work, intentional focus, right? Times intentional recovery equals 800% elite performance. What does that mean? It means we got to be firing on all cylinders. We have to maximize all 8 pillars that we know, we love, and we talk about. Massive deal to make sure our people are living lives to the fullest outside of our dealership, making sure that they're practicing what they preach outside of those walls. And I promise you, just because they say they don't have time, it might just mean they're not using their time properly or to get the maximum ROI. I talked to a couple people here recently I could have two people. One person works 50 hours in an office 7 days a week, right? And the other person works 20 hours for 4 days a week. In some instances, that person that works less hours and less days will get more accomplished, right? It's not about the time that you spend in that seat or the time that you spend in the dealership. It's about what are we getting done at the dealership and what are we getting done outside of the dealership. Spend or invest intentional time. Don't spend it. Let's roll.